Hello! Today we will solve a question from the TOEFL reading section, focusing on the read a notice question type. We will practice understanding everyday notices, identifying rules, instructions, or key conditions, and selecting the most accurate answer based on practical, real-life written information. Welcome back to another exciting lesson. Today we are going to master the skill of reading public notices, a very common and practical task you might encounter both on the TOEFL exam and in your daily life in an English-speaking environment. My goal is to help you spot the most critical details quickly and accurately, so let's dive right in. If you find these lessons helpful, please make sure to subscribe to My TOEFL and join our community of learners. It really helps us continue creating great content for your exam preparation. Redwood National Park. This title tells us the name of the location where this notice is posted. The key phrase here is national park. A national park is a protected area of land usually managed by a government for conservation and public enjoyment. Recognizing this immediately sets the context. We are dealing with a large public outdoor area managed by official authorities. Trail closure notice. The subtitle explains the specific purpose of this message. The most important words here are trail closure and notice. Trail closure informs us that a hiking path is not open, and notice tells us this is an official announcement. This prepares us to look for details about which trail is closed and why. Effective immediately, the Eagle Peak Trail is closed to all hikers due to recent rock slides and unstable terrain. This is the most critical sentence in the notice. It starts with effective immediately, which means the rule applies right now at this very moment. It tells us that the Eagle Peak Trail is the specific path that is closed. Finally, it gives the reason using the phrase due to, followed by rock slides and unstable terrain. These terms describe dangerous ground conditions where rocks have fallen or the earth is not solid. Park rangers are assessing the situation. Here we see who is handling the problem. The key phrase is park rangers. These are the officers responsible for protecting the park and the people in it. The word assessing means they are examining or checking the safety of the area. For your safety, please respect all posted signs and barriers. This sentence gives a direct instruction to visitors. The phrase for your safety explains the motivation behind the rule. You are asked to respect or obey the posted signs and barriers, which are physical blockades stopping people from entering. Alternative hiking routes, such as the Cedar Creek Trail, remain open. This provides helpful information for hikers who still want to walk. The key word alternative implies other options. It specifically mentions that other paths remain open, meaning the whole park is not closed, only that specific trail. Please check at the visitor center for the latest updates on trail conditions. Finally, this sentence tells you where to get more information. The visitor center is the main office for guests, and you can go there for updates or the newest news regarding the situation. All right, everyone, let's take a look at the first question. What kind of entity is responsible for this notice? This question asks us to identify the type of organization that issued this announcement. The key word here is entity, which basically means the group or authority in charge. To answer this, we need to look at the title and the people mentioned in the text. The title says Redwood National Park, and the text mentions park rangers. We need to decide what kind of organization manages a national park and employs rangers. Let's take a closer look at option A, a government agency managing public lands. This option suggests that the responsible group is a government agency. This aligns perfectly with the text because a national park is typically public land managed by the government for the people. The mention of park rangers further confirms this, as rangers are officials who work for these agencies. Therefore, this seems to be the correct description. Correct. Now let's take a closer look at option B, a local hiking club. This option suggests a local hiking club is in charge. While hiking clubs use trails, they do not usually have the legal authority to close trails in a national park or employ park rangers. There is no mention of a club in the notice. Incorrect. Now let's take a closer look at option C, a private adventure tour company. This option mentions a private adventure tour company. The text refers to a national park, which is a public entity, not a private business. A private company would not have the authority to issue official closure notices for a public park. Incorrect. Now let's take a closer look at option D, a geological research society. This option suggests a geological research society. Although rock slides and terrain are geological terms, the notice comes from the park administration itself, represented by the park rangers, not a specific research group. A society might study the rocks, but they don't manage the park's closures. Incorrect. The correct answer is A, because the key expressions in the text directly match this option, while the other choices either provide incomplete information or clearly contradict the passage. Now let's move on to the second question. Why is the Eagle Peak Trail currently inaccessible? This question asks for the reason why the trail is closed. The word inaccessible is a synonym for closed or cannot be entered. To find the answer, we should look for the cause or reason in the text, usually signaled by words like due to or because. In the first sentence, we see the phrase due to followed by the specific reasons. Let's take a closer look at option A, because of dangerous ground conditions. This option states the closure is due to dangerous ground conditions. If we look at the first sentence of the notice, it says the trail is closed due to recent rock slides and unstable terrain. Rock slides and unstable terrain are perfect examples of dangerous ground conditions. This matches the text exactly. Correct. Now let's take a closer look at option B, because of a special event. This option claims there is a special event. I scanned the notice for words like festival, race, or ceremony, but there is absolutely no mention of any event taking place. The closure is purely safety related. Incorrect. Now let's take a closer look at option C, because of wildlife activity. This option suggests wildlife activity such as bears or other animals is the cause. While this can happen in national parks, the text specifically lists rock slides and unstable terrain, not animals. Incorrect. Now let's take a closer look at option D, because of scheduled maintenance. This option says it is due to scheduled maintenance, which implies planned work. However, rock slides are natural, accidental occurrences, not planned maintenance. The phrase effective immediately also suggests an emergency response rather than a scheduled plan. Incorrect. The correct answer is A, because the key expressions in the text match this option exactly, showing that careful scanning of the passage leads to the correct answer.